You know, the timing on this is pretty funny. I was just about to make a video about Daima and how I'm not really interested, but if you're here, then you know what happened yesterday. So I kind of want to talk about that. Super Saiyan 4 is finally canon. Kind of. I mean, is Daima canon? I mean, it's made by Akira Toriyama, but at this point, I feel like there's 3 different canons for Dragon Ball. You have the Dragon Ball Super manga continuity, you have the Dragon Ball Super anime continuity, and now you have whatever Daima is, because what cannot be doubted is that Dragon Ball Daima is the last thing Dragon Ball related created by Akira Toriyama. There's no diminishing that. But I kind of want to talk about Dragon Ball Daima as a whole, and although I will get to Super Saiyan 4, I want to talk about why I wasn't really interested in Dragon Ball Daima for the last 3 to 4 weeks. For some odd reason, you know, the first 10 episodes of Daima, I was locked in. Every week, I would tune in, and I would watch the episodes diligently. I'd actually watch some episodes more than once. But I feel like after the introduction of the Majins, the new Majins, I don't know, I kind of got disinterested. You know, we saw Goku fight the first Tamagami, and seeing Goku get used to using his younger body was fun, but after episode 10 or 11, that got old. And I thought that introducing Piccolo, Vegeta, and Bulma would kind of spice things up, and for the first initial moments it did, but I still wasn't interested. You know, we kept having these reveals of a new Majin, you know, Vegeta finally using Super Saiyan 3, and these are quote-unquote hype moments. You know, these are kind of fan fiction dreams made true, but it didn't result in actual desire for me to go watch these episodes on a week-to-week basis, which is something I've been looking for with the Dragon Ball series since Dragon Ball Super. You know, one thing I can say about Dragon Ball Super is that now I think a lot of it has aged kind of poorly. Back then, I was hooked week to week. Even if the next episode may not have been what I was looking for, I would tune in because I know this greater story is kind of playing out. And Dragon Ball Daima has to be coming to a close at this point. I don't know. I'm glad we had this 40-year anniversary of Dragon Ball, this celebration, and Akira Toriyama's final work with what's probably the most legendary anime franchise ever. Something's missing. And I can't really put my finger on what exactly that is. Now, at some point, I'm gonna make a video really trying to find this out. You know, a long form video that's a little more analysis based, because this is something I have to give a lot more thought to. But these are just kind of my raw thoughts about Super Saiyan 4 and Dragon Ball Daima and, you know, Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, the new Majins, even the final villain. I don't know. And I can't blame this on anything like, you know, me getting older, because there are a lot of shows that, you know, people might deem that are for children that I still really rock with. You know, there's a new Spider-Man series that I'm watching diligently every single week. Invincible, definitely not for children, but still a superhero show that I tune into, even though I know exactly how the story is going to end. I've read all of the comics. Dragon Ball Daima is missing something. Be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be a video. I don't know, it's gonna be titled something like, what is Dragon Ball Daima missing? Or the one missing piece of Dragon Ball Daima, something like that, I'm not sure. But let's talk about Super Saiyan 4. Whew. You know, I've seen some people in my comment section kind of arguing for Super Saiyan 4 being canon. But whoever thought we'd get to this day? Whoever thought we'd get to this day? Now let's address some of the obvious differences. One, this Super Saiyan 4 allows Goku to stay in his kid form, well, mini form, whatever you want to call it now, but that's something I really liked. It was kind of always weird in Dragon Ball GT how Goku would be a kid in Super Saiyan 1, we never saw him in 2, but Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, and then just magically go into an adult at Super Saiyan 4. And I know Super Saiyan 4, at least from what I've seen sometimes, it's kind of supposed to be a Saiyan at his absolute peak, like it puts a Saiyan at his peak of his powers, which includes Goku being in his adult body. I don't know, I kind of always wanted to see Goku fight as the Super Saiyan 4 as a child, because, you know, that was a lot of the appeal for Dragon Ball GT. More of it, you know, just being an adventure storyline similar to OG Dragon Ball. Goku being in his kid body going around exploring like OG Dragon Ball was really the big draw for me and many other fans. And allowing us to see Goku fight in those forms as a child would have been cool, but I guess that's why we have Daima now. Now we got a couple of visual differences. One, Daima's Super Saiyan 4 Goku's fur is a little more red, and the hair is the same color as the fur. You know, in Dragon Ball GT, the fur was a little bit more red and the hair was completely black. And for Vegeta, the fur was a different shade of red, but his hair was brown. Now, the aura for Goku and Daima, it's more like on his body, it's almost skin tight. It's a white aura that goes all around, and his eyes are red. Now, one of the most notable differences that I've been seeing a lot of people point out on social media is how Goku moves while in this form. And I love it. The primal theme that GT was trying to go for during the entirety of the Baby Saga, you really see it with this Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball Daima. Like the way Goku's running on all fours, that's like an ape. And that's what this form is kind of supposed to be. I think that's what we all thought it was. It was Goku harnessing the power of the ape in his humanoid body. So I like that about Dragon Ball Daima. The context in which it came in, I'm not the biggest fan of Neba just unlocking their power. Now, I know this is something that a lot of people speculated on the internet. That's fine. And I know that Namekians have the ability to unlock the potential of, certain characters. We saw with Gohan, we saw with Krillin. We know this can happen. But for Namekian to be able to unlock an entirely new form, a form that we've never seen before, I don't know if that's how I would have liked to see this form be unlocked. It is what it is. Can't change it. At this point, we just got to see, will Vegeta get the form? And if so, do we see a fusion? And if so, will it be better than the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta we saw in Dragon Ball GT? These are all really interesting questions that I think about. Dragon Ball Daima as a whole in comparison to GT, I can't make a fair assessment of it yet. I have to let it, come to a close first. But I can say that Dragon Ball Daima, as disinterested as I was from, I'd say, episode 11 to episode 15, episode 16, it's never, and I mean never, been as boring as the Black Star Dragon Ball saga is of Dragon Ball GT. I think it's disrespectful to compare any, and I mean any saga of Dragon Ball to those, 15, 20 episodes there, excluding Super 17, of course. But back to Super Saiyan 4, part of me is really happy that I got to see, Akira Toriyama's take on this legendary form. The other part of me wishes that Akira Toriyama gave us something completely different. When you go back and look at how Dragon Ball came to be and how he was really just freestyling for a lot of it, that kind of creativity really cannot be quantified. So for him to just kind of do some fan service, I don't know. I get it's the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball, but to me, creating a new form altogether would have been more in line with the Akira Toriyama that we've known in years past. Now, it's still likely that this form may never be called Super Saiyan 4 and it's called Super Saiyan Prime or Super Saiyan Prime. I don't know what this form is going to be called, but the fandom will always call this form Super Saiyan 4. This is going to be Super Saiyan 4, or at least Super Saiyan 4 in parentheses Daima, for the rest of eternity. It doesn't matter if we get an official name for it. I know people remember the days where Gohan in his ultimate form was called Mystic Gohan, or the fact that we even call him Ultimate Gohan now, which is something we've never actually heard said on screen or on a page, ever. We have Gohan in parentheses Potential Unleashed, but we've never seen Ultimate Gohan or Mystic Gohan said by another character in the story. We haven't. And I think something similar will happen with this form. And in that case, I like that. If this form is never officially given a name in Daima, I think that'd be good. I think it'd also be really good if Goku's only able to use this form in the demon realm. I mean, with this, form having a tint of red to it, there could be that this is Super Saiyan Demon or Demon Super Saiyan. I don't really know, but if this is just a one-off thing that Goku can't do again, I'd like that. Leave a little bit of ambiguity to this. A lot of Dragon Ball is just power-ups, and everything is so defined. And the power creep is ridiculous in Dragon Ball, so I'd like if there's just this one form that is totally circumstantial. Like it only can be used in this specific situation, and it allows for more dynamic battles going forward. But these are just my unfiltered thoughts, right? I just turned the mic on and started recording because I couldn't let a day go by where I didn't talk about this new form. This is a big moment for Dragon Ball. This is the first new form we've seen animated in 7 years. I mean, Gohan Beast, of course, but that was a movie. So in an anime, this is the first one we've seen since 2018. I can't believe it's been 7 years since Dragon Ball Super ended. But anyway, let me know down in the comments how you feel about this new Super Saiyan 4. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it okay to you? Let me know what you think. With that being said, this is BigTune, and thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.